Hello and welcome to today's video where we're going to cover the moves made by the LCK teams between spring and summer during this mid-season off-season. So three of the five bottom tier teams in the LCK made some roster moves, and a couple that truly are on another tier of puzzling. I understand Korea has the military rule and all that. And I think it's come into play for two of these players. So, with Brian, KDF have loaned Young Jay to Brian. So, Bro actually are not, they don't have him under contract. They're just paying him, as KDF had Young Jay just riding the pine behind Cuz. It's definitely an interesting decision. More so that KDF feel that they want to keep Young Jay's rights that much. That they would rather just loan him out within their own region to play against him than sell him or let him seek opportunities as a free agent. I just think it's quite a thing. So last year with the Freaks, he had a 2.8 KDA, 5.6 CS per minute, 72.2 KP, very facilitator oriented. A rookie I think he was a rookie last year. First time being the starter for the entire season. 0.88 return on investment, so not a heavy damage dealer. Like I said, a facilitator, more tanky, and we'll see that with his champion pool. 18.3 gold share, 13.7 damage share. On average, slightly behind at 15 minutes, 20 gold, 5 XP, up 2 CS, so he might as well be even. So he is not getting gapped by LCK junglers last year. And that's something to note out of a rookie, right? That he's able to be competitive in the early game. 5 solo kills, 11 champions in 83 games. Sejuani, Maokai, Wukong were his 3 most played. And you're going to say, you just said facilitator. Wukong's not. Wukong can be a facilitator, but more importantly, I'm thinking about the Sejuani here. As I'm preparing my video that I'll do maybe Monday or Tuesday regarding patches 14, 9, 10, and 11 before the season begins, Sejuani was buffed. So just looking at how many players have played Sejuani over the last few years, Young Jay played like 1/3 of his games on Sejuani. Like truly a Sejuani enjoyer at the LCK level, and his stats kind of reflect that. Now he's replacing Gideon, a player that's had a couple opportunities, I think with KT a while back, with IG last spring, and now Bro in this year's spring split, and now lost his job again. So his numbers not that much different than Young Jay's. If you are new to the channel, I'm not a big fan of watching Bro's games. The slow style of play that I believe is a coaching decision just is terrible to watch, and frankly I think stunts the growth of the players. We see how good Delight was once he left. Bro, hell, Umpty looks pretty decent on Team Liquid, something we did not really get to see with Bro much at all. So Gideon, 2.6 KDA, 5.6 CS per minute, 75.1 KP, 3 out of every 4 kills. So as far as I'm concerned, not much happened for Bro if Gideon did not partake in it. 75% is a pretty damn good number for a jungler in KP. 0.88 return on investment. So once again, very similar type of player in terms of damage output. On average, 18-1 gold share, 13 damage share. So pretty much the same as Young Jay once again. At 15 minutes, not getting gapped. Up 2 CS, 70 XP, behind 15 gold, might as well be even. 4 solo kills, 12 champions in only 40 games. Lee Sin, Sejuani, Xin Zhao, his 3 most played. Now, KDF have made a decision. They've brought in Leaper. I don't know if this is... He's listed on Leaguepedia as a player in their starting roster. Leaper has not played, I believe, since 2020 or 2021 as a mid laner for DRX Academy. Now, he is a AD carry and has not played between then and now, at least according to Leaguepedia, in an organized format. I don't know if he's dominating solo queue and KDF felt the need to bring him on. He's 24 years old. Maybe, like I said, there are a couple players on here that I wonder if military played a role. Maybe he went to military and now is back and revitalized his career. Regardless, if he's in, that means Bull is out. Taeyun already was in KDF Academy anyways. Bull came into the team more so as a shot caller for the Freaks. And we saw them improve slightly with him in the lineup, and then they started messing with support, Quantum, and Andal going back and forth. Keep in mind, he had 3 Senna games out of these 47, so these numbers aren't great, even if you factor in the fact that he played 3 Senna games. I mean, 8 CS per minute when only, maybe 8% of your games, if that were, well, 7% pretty much of your games were on Senna. I mean, I wonder if it's closer to 9 without those. 2.9 KDA, 69.4 KP, quite involved. 2 out of every 3 kills or more. The 1.31 return on investments, definitely a thing to think about though. At an 80 carry position where we see some players up around nearly 1.8 or higher at the highest level, he's not dealing a lot of damage relative to the gold. And you can say, well, he's not getting a lot of gold. Well, then if he's not getting a lot of gold, his damage to gold ratio should be pretty decent. But he just wasn't doing that. So 22.1 gold share, 23 damage share. He was a 3rd tier carry on the team behind Bulldog and Doodoo. 23% is extremely low for an 80 carry. One of the lowest that you're probably going to find in the 4 major regions. I mean, hell, Doodoo and Bulldog are really good players, but you very seldom see an 80 carry this low on the hierarchy of damage share. At 15 minutes, he was behind 315 gold, 3 CS, 85 XP. I should have, well, it would have been difficult to look at Quantum and Andal to figure out maybe the, what the actual duo 14, 15-minute laning phase numbers were, but slightly behind at 15 minutes anyways. 2 solo kills, 15 champions in 47 games. Of course, this is a puzzling move if it truly is Leaper going into the lineup after not playing for a few years. Certainly a decision. Nongshim Red Force, they've made a couple moves. So they fired Irene towards the end of the year, or resigned, whichever way you want to actually look at that. And they brought in, they had Sounda coaching, and now they've brought up Shelly, or no, they had Shelly and now bring up Sounda. Either way, in doing so, they've decided we're going to bring up some more challenger players again. Last year they did this as their roster was essentially all challenger players. Dindin, Sylvie, Fiesta. Fiesta was the one that wasn't a challenger player. No, he was. They played Vital at first. Vital was not. And then eventually brought in Jiwoo to play alongside Peter. And now they're abandoning some of those players that have only played for about a year, year and a half. And now they're bringing up other challenger players. So melee and top lane. I mean, these numbers are good, right? They're solid at a lower level of play. I don't think he's better than Dindin. Personally, I think Dindin's got a lot of talent. Now he ints his face off at times, and frankly, Nongshim as a squad have not really given us a vibe of, hey, you guys really develop players well. These players are in the best situation possible. They're being taught properly and things of that nature. I mean, the team relatively stinks more often than not. It stunk when they didn't even have the rookies in 2022. If you remember the roster with BDD and Ghost, and I think it was Dread, Kana, and top lane. I think that was 4 of the 5, and then Snowflower ended up playing in the support role. But regardless, so melee and top lane, 3 KDA, 8.5 CS per minute, 58 KP. Very involved, and that is something to note. That's the very big difference between him and Dindin's numbers here. So, melee, 1.31 return on investment, 21.7 gold share, 22.5 damage share. On average against challenger, top laners up 150 gold, 3 CS, 150 XP. 14 solo kills, 13 champions played in 59 games. Kesante, Nar, Aatrox are his 3 most played. Now, Dindin overextended a lot, therefore dying a lot. Nongshim in general, not that strong. 1.7 KDA is very... I mean, it might have been the lowest out of the top laners in the 4 major regions. 8.6 CS, he does find a way to get farm, and that's in part because he's not fighting at 44.3% KP. You can say your team is not fighting, like your team is a skirmish squad and this, that, and the third, but when it's 44%, I mean, this guy is not involved. Either the team is saying you go in the side lane and you go on like some sort of glorified Nasus mission, if you will, trying to take down turrets or whatever the hell. So, just not a great situation. And maybe That's why they are thinking about swapping top laners. Hey, this guy's a better communicator. This guy's more involved in the case of Melee. And Din Din ends up riding the pine as a result. So Din Din also had a 1.15 return on investment because he's not around to actually deal damage. 21.8 gold share, 20.8 damage share. On average, behind 150 gold, 185 gold. 3 CS, 140 XP, 13 solo kills, 10 champions played in 44 games. Udyr, K'Sante, Jax were his 3 most played. So, excuse me, definitely a concerning stat line there. But like I said, I think Din Din has a lot of potential. It's unfortunate that, you know, we don't know if he's going to get that opportunity in the LCK again. This guy may have to go elsewhere to get another shot. Mid lane. So I have 3 mid laners listed here because they brought in Fisher from EDG. Fisher had played with Live Sandbox prior to being picked up by EDG. Now, EDG did not give him a lot of time to play with their LDL team. I think he played sporadically as they had like multiple different mid laners last year. And then this year decided to bring him up to the main squad. Now, I wonder if communication was an issue. Hell, he was a very young player and a rookie to begin with, but it just didn't really work out. So, 2.5 KDA, 8.4 CS per minute, 71 KP. We also keep in mind EDG were a tire fire. They had a support that had no LDL experience at all that they brought in from solo queue to play alongside like 4 different AD carries that they tried this year. And then they also JJ got hurt in the didn't he like trip in the bathroom or something like crazy like that? So they didn't have JJ, they had multiple different top laners. I mean, it's almost like it's a blessing in disguise for Fisher to be off of that squad. Now they've brought in other players, and we'll get to that tomorrow, but this might be the best case for Fisher anyways. 1.59 return on investment, 22 gold share, and a team leading 28.4 damage share. So he did carry in the damage department when he did play. 10 champions in 36 games because we don't get the fun stats. Azir, Orianna, Wei are his 3 most played. Now, the 2 mid laners that played the majority of the games for Nongshim last split. Fiesta, first, is now going to play for Papara Supermassive in the TCL as part of the ERL. So he's now in the LEC region. 2.6 KDA, 8.3 CS per minute, 65 KP. These numbers are not great for a guy that's been playing quite a few games. He probably is in triple figures in LCK games by this point. Not by any means, done developing, but at the same time, his numbers were worse than Calmy's by quite a large margin. So seeing him be let go is not a surprise. 1.53 return on investment, 22.2 gold share, and 28 damage share. So once again, a carry when he did play. Down 40 gold, 3 CS, 145 XP, no solo kills, 4 champions in 7 games. Wei and Azir were the only 2 champions he played more than once. And then we have Calmy, a rookie that I thought did pretty well this past split. Were there issues? Yes, but he was a rookie, and like I've already said, Nongshim were not in a great place. So bringing in Fisher to compete, I guess, is a thing. But Calmy, in my opinion, should have the first opportunity at starting in summer. 2.1 KDA, 9 CS per minute, 72.5 KP. He finds a way to get gold. He finds a way to get involved. 1.56 return on investment, 22.8 gold share, and 29.4 damage share. He was the primary carry, if not just a 1A, 1B situation for this team. They're getting restless, and maybe sponsors are getting restless with Nongshim after this, couple year window here where they've struggled, but I don't know if Fisher's really going to solve the issues that they have. Calmy down 130 gold, 5 CS, up 10 XP, so slightly behind LCK mids. I mean, LCK mids are the best in the world, so for him to be slightly behind as a rookie is not a shock. 9 solo kills, 9 champions played in 35 games. Very traditional mid laner champion pool. Talia, Azir, Orianna. Now, support is another puzzling decision. Geiger gets brought in. Geiger has not played since 2020 with Team Dynamics, if I read that correctly. I don't know if this is a situation where he's coming back after going to military. I mean, he's 30 years old. It's definitely a move. It's a decision. 3.2 KDA, 74.6 KP, 0.79 return on investment. You know, you may say, why do you have that stat there if they're a support? Just trying to figure out, if they're an aggressive support or not. We see some supports in the current meta with nearly 1 damage to gold ratio, and that's a good way to kind of say, okay, this guy's playing more carry-oriented supports. He's trying to deal damage more so than actually support the team in a traditional support sense. So that's the thing. And also, I want to say, I double-checked. They said he's making a comeback. Part of me was like, is he just going to be a coach? But I looked it up, and they were making it seem like he's trying to come back to the game. 2.74 vision score per minute. Placed about 8 wards every 5 minutes. A control ward every other minute. Clears 2 wards every 5 minutes. 21 champions in 91 games. So he did have a wide champion pool back then. Bard, Nautilus, and Taric were his 3 most played. Keep in mind, that is a meta long in the past. So he hasn't played, he hasn't played since COVID. The first year of COVID, actually. Second year. Shoot, COVID got to my brain. So, hypothetically, he'd be replacing Peter. Peter is a traditional support. Through and through. We see a double 80 carry meta and this and that right now. He is not that type of support at all. 3.3 KDA, 75.1 KP. Very involved with his team. 3 out of every 4 kills. He roams. He makes things happen. 0.61 return on investment. That's one of the lowest of the supports in the 4 major regions. Like I said, very traditional. 3.32 vision score per minute, placed about 9 wards every 5 minutes, a control ward every other minute, and clears 2 wards every 5 minutes. So, solid vision. 11 champions in 44 games. Melio, Nautilus, Rakan were his 3 most played. So, we see these teams making moves. Some of them seem pretty desperate, in my opinion. But something's got to be done, of course. If you're struggling, you got to figure something out. So thank you for watching. If you like the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube supporter. And hope to see you again tomorrow.